Hey guys, Sophia here with turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com, and I'm back with another video. We're talking about the 2020 IFBB British Grand Prix, where we got to see both pro bikini and pro women's physique. So, if you saw my most recent video, I talked about the San Antonio Classic, where I had said that it was the first time we had a bikini competitor qualify for Olympia 2021. However, this competition, the British Grand Prix, was actually a few days before the San Antonio. So really, our winner of this competition is actually our first ever 2021 qualified Olympia athlete. You can find my San Antonio video on my channel. I will link to it at the end in case you missed it. And there was also another competition this weekend, the Muscle Contest Nacional, the Brazil Wellness Pro. And I will be back with a recap of that show as well. So just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Okay, now talking about Olympia. For the bikini division, which is on this side here, there's more than 25 contests in a year. So the way that it worked in 2020 was the winner qualified for Olympia. The second through fifth place received points. And then at the end of the qualification period, the top 5 were eligible to go to Olympia. Then for women's physique, it's a similar system where the winner is automatically qualified. The top 5, second through fifth, receive points. And then at the end of the period, the top 3 get to go to Olympia. And the only reason I have a question mark here is because these are actually the 2020 rules, and I'm not certain if anything is going to change for 2021. I don't know that yet. I think it's safe to presume that they are the same rules, so we're just going to operate as if they are. Okay, so let's begin with bikini. We had our top 5, Stein in first place, Phoebe in second, Alessia in third, Jade in fourth, and Esther in fifth. So here's Esther. I think she looks beautiful. I love her strawberry blonde hair. It's always nice to see strawberry blondes rather than always seeing the very bright blonde platinum. So it's just nice to see a little variation. I think her physique is beautiful. She has a really nice amount of definition in her legs, gorgeous glutes. Her abs look very nice, a very strong line in her obliques, a very smooth, flat stomach. I do feel like her posing is a little bit as if she's leaning forward, and it's creating a lack of balance between the top and the bottom. So what I mean here is we've got these beautiful glutes, and then you almost have to look inwards to see her shoulder. Whereas some of the other girls, when they pose, the shoulder ends up kind of being right on top of the glutes. And you'll notice it when I show you the picture of the lineup. It just creates a different visual impression. So that's really the only thing I can comment about for Esther. I think she looks fantastic. Nice earrings, nice makeup. Her suit is gorgeous. She looked great. Okay, next in fourth place was Jade, who actually got 12th place at the European Championship. So this is a fantastic placing for her. What an improvement. And she looks awesome. I love her green suit, and she coordinated her eyeshadow with it, so it just kind of ties in, looks very pretty. Her definition as well is very nice. She's got a beautiful shape to her glute. I like this little bit of a divot here and a little line coming down her leg. You can see what I mean about the posing. She stands a little bit more upright, so her glute is a little more lined up with her shoulder. She's got a nice amount of muscle in her arms. I really like the tricep that you see, and a nice amount of definition in her abs. Just like with Esther, you've got a beautiful line in the oblique, very chiseled. I think she looks fantastic, and a fourth place is wonderful. Okay, next in third place was Alessia, who we saw last at the Arnold, where she got 12th. So this is an awesome placing for her. She looked just as beautiful as ever. I really liked her conditioning. You see even more definition on Alessia than you did in the other two. She's got a beautiful line running down her leg, defining her quads. Her glutes look amazing. Her abs are super flat, a nice amount of definition, both in the oblique and in the abs. And her arms look pretty. I do think that there's a slight change in her shoulders from how she looked at the Arnold. Now, it could just be the way that she's holding her arm. You can see here it's kind of out a little bit to the side, whereas here it was more flat. And in this picture, there's more of a roundness and a cap to the top of the shoulder, whereas here it's a little bit more, the roundness is lower. So I don't know whether that's a change in the actual structure of her muscle or if it's just a matter of the posing. I do feel like a rounder shoulder on top, I prefer that. It does seem to make the lats a little wider as well. You always want to have as much of an hourglass shape as possible. But I mean, overall, she looks fantastic. Third place is amazing. I love the new suit, the dark, it's almost like a dark black with blue crystals, maybe they're green crystals, can't even tell. It's just beautiful, very sparkly, very flattering. She looks amazing. Okay, next in second place was Phoebe, who we saw get fourth at the European. So another top 5 for Phoebe. She's doing fantastic and she looks incredible. Biggest change, of course, is the suit. Now, if you know me, I love my turquoise suits, but I think this purpley suit looks really nice on her. Super flattering, just really pretty. And she changed her hair. Now it's straight rather than curly. I think both look beautiful. I love that it's off her shoulders. I find that's very important. You want to be able to see all of the muscle when they're facing the front. And so having the hair to the back is the way to go, in my opinion. Now, I feel like her conditioning is even better at this show. She has a little bit more definition in her abs. Her arms look incredible. I think she's got probably the most muscular upper body on this whole stage in our top 5. She's got beautiful shoulders. You can see there's just a little bit more definition in her shoulders. Her biceps look beautiful. She looks fantastic. And just wow. Really, she looks great. Second place is awesome. And now in first place, we have Stein, who got 5th at the European Championship. So way to go, Stein. What a great placing for her. And she switched the red suit to a beautiful turquoise, which I think looks amazing. I prefer the turquoise myself. You can let me know in the comments what you guys like better. I just think it's a beautiful, very complimentary and flattering to her skin and the dark hair. I think it's a knockout. Just gorgeous. And I also think that Stein came in a little bit more conditioned than she did at the European. To me, she looks harder. She looks more athletic, firmer. There's more definition, especially, you can see this groove in her glute coming down her hip and outlining her quad. Her abs, to me, look a little bit more defined. Her shoulder looks just a little bit more defined. So I think her conditioning was awesome. Just a tiny bit more athletic looking, whereas the European had a little bit of a softer look. Not to say she's soft. You guys know what I mean. Just a little bit more hard and firm. And I think she looked awesome. Her hair looks beautiful. Her tan, her skin tone, everything. She looked fantastic. Okay, so here's a look at everybody in the callouts. I had to mash a picture of Esther in with the others. And maybe you can see what I mean about Esther leans a little bit over to the side. And if she stood a tiny bit more upright, it would be a little bit more visually, just the hourglass, I think, would be a little bit more balanced. I think everybody looks fantastic. Everybody has their hair off their shoulders, which is a huge plus in my books. The suits are all beautiful. The posing it's funny, they're all posing in the same way, but they all have different unique bodies and different strengths, and I think they all look amazing. Phoebe, you can see, has such a gorgeous amount of muscle in her arms and her upper body with a beautiful taper to her lats. And it's just incredible. A great caliber of athlete. Everybody looks amazing. And now a quick look from behind. We can see some very beautiful glute ham tie-ins. Nothing crazy in terms of definition. In fact, I think Esther might have the most definition in her hamstrings and the back of her glutes. So there's a little bit of softness, but still some athletic definition to the back of the legs and the back of the glutes. Beautiful. I think everybody has wonderful hair. The lengths are all really nice. It's nice and thick. It's just everybody looks great. It was a really, really good show. Okay, so in terms of points, again, I keep the question mark, but I'm pretty sure this is how it's going to be. So Steen is now qualified for the 2021 Olympia. Phoebe would have 5 points, Alessia 4, Jade 3, and Esther 2. Okay, let's talk about women's physique. So there were actually only 3 competitors, so all 3 are in the top 5. We had Lenka in first place, Corinne in second, and Priscilla in third. All right, so looking first at Priscilla in third place. I think Priscilla has a beautiful suit. It's very kind of exciting. There's a lot to look at. It's very sparkly. I think her hair is really cool. I like that it's off to the side with one side pinned back. Great amount of muscle mass. Her quads are very big. Lots of muscle in her arms. I feel like from a conditioning standpoint, she doesn't quite have the definition that I like to see, and you'll see it better when we're in the lineup with the other 2 girls. The other 2 seem to have just a little bit more sharpness, especially in the legs and the abs. But I mean, my goodness, Priscilla looks amazing. She's got so much muscle. She's doing fantastic. Third place. Okay, next and second was Corinne, who, wow, she looks really good. You can see what I mean. She's got a little bit more definition in her legs. You can see a little bit more of the difference between the muscles in there. Her abs are very flat, very well defined. She's got a great V-taper, super flared lats that really create that beautiful X shape. Gorgeous arms. I love her hair. I feel like she could have used a darker lip just to complement the suit a little bit more, but overall she looked fantastic. And then in first place is Lenka, who got a 6th at the European Championship. So she did phenomenal. This is so good. And I think Lenka really kind of hit the money mark. You know, she really nailed it. She had great conditioning. You can see all of those muscles in her legs, tiny bit of striation happening, but nothing crazy. She's got a teeny tiny little waist with super well-defined abs, a beautiful V-taper because of those gorgeous lats, and then amazing arms. Lovely suit, great hair, nice posing. I think she nailed it. She looks so good. So here's a look at everybody in line. I mean, everybody looks incredible. I think even Priscilla's legs look better in this picture than in the last one. But there's something kind of special about Lenka. She's got a really beautiful V-taper, and I think it's because her tummy is so small. Her waist is tiny, and that really gives her a beautiful shape. The outline, she really is an X, and she's got great muscle tone and great definition. And now from behind, you can see what I mean about Lenka really has a beautiful V-taper. Priscilla has great lats. She's got great muscles in her back, but she doesn't quite have that flared appearance to give her a V compared to the other 2, of course. Now, Corinne also has an amazing V-taper. She's got a huge amount of muscle in her back. I'm wondering if perhaps her conditioning was almost too much. You know, in Physique, they don't want overly striated, and her glutes look pretty incredible. So I wonder if Lenka just kind of had that perfect mix of not too much, not too little, just the right amount. But my goodness, all 3 of them looked incredible. Okay, so again, talking about Olympia 2021. Lenka would be qualified. Corinne, I believe, gets 4 points, and Priscilla will have 3. Okay, so we're not done with Physique or Bikini for the rest of the month. We have both Physique and Bikini happening at the Romania Muscle Fest, which is on the 13th to the 15th. Then we've got Bikini happening as well on the 14th at the Iron Games. Then Bikini is happening at the San Marino Pro on the 22nd. And then both Physique and Bikini is happening at the Atlantic Coast Pro. So please make sure you subscribe. I will be recapping all of those shows. You don't want to miss it. Give me a like if you like this video, and make sure you comment below with what your favorite suit color is. Do you like when the girls switch them up? Do you like when they keep things the same? Do you have a favorite color? What do you like to see? You can find me at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and of course on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.